So first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about myofascial release with the foam roller. The fascia that is in your body, it's like a sheath that comes around the muscles. It's very hard to stretch with just general stretching. So the way that you do this is doing massage. And I know we can't come in and do massage every single day. So there has to be a way that you can do this at home. What it does is it helps increase the extensibility of the muscles. It helps with recovery. If you can foam roll and do these self myofascial releases, it'll actually help you recover faster. It'll help with muscle fatigue, and it'll also help prime the muscles for whatever activity you're doing. Whether you're running, whether you're lifting, you're crossfitting, it's always great to foam roll prior to the activity. If you don't have time to foam roll before you're doing the activity, it's not a waste if you do it after as well. Sometimes it feels better to foam roll with a sore muscle or something that's really, really tight. So my advice is to first, if you don't have a foam roller, this is what they look like. We have one of the really large ones. I like using these ones just because I can put both legs on the foam roller at the same time. I also use smaller ones that I travel with whenever I travel to different races. They're nice to just like throw into a suitcase. And we'll go over the different techniques with using these. And if you have one, you can go ahead and pull it out. These are really good to help bring blood flow to the muscles. So that's why I like to do it prior to running. I know that I'm going to give you a lot of information today and you're going to be like, holy crap, she's giving me an entire workout to do before I go running. Take what you need here. I'm just trying to give you a giant toolbox of information to work with. Foam rolling is one of the number one things that I do. I try to do it every day. I'm not going to lie to you and say that I do it every single day. I try to do it 5 times a week. So go ahead and grab your foam roller if you have it. We're going to come down and we're going to work on quads and hip flexors first. So your hip flexors are these muscles that are right above your quads, and they attach to those little bony prominence that sticks out right in your hips. So when you come down onto the foam roller, make sure that you are on your forearms to protect your shoulders. You're going to start right at the top where that little bony prominence is, right below it, and you're just going to move yourself forward, kind of like army crawling, to the tops of your knees, and then going back. You can do both legs at the same time if you have one of the longer rollers. If you have a shorter one, just do one at a time. Coming back and forth, rolling over top of the muscle. There is not a lot of research that says how long to do foam rolling. I did read an article that said about 2 minutes for each muscle group was adequate. So I've told athletes to take their phones, set a little timer on it, and if you can just hit 2 minutes for each muscle group, that would be perfect. Moving on from your quad muscles, going into the IT band. I know that the IT band is very, very tough for a lot of runners. It causes a lot of that runner's knee pain. So, and it can cause some hip pain too. So this is a big one that I always tell everyone to do. Again, coming down onto your forearm, the leg that you are foam rolling stays nice and straight. The other leg comes up and over top to help you maneuver on the foam roller. Going down from the IT band is on the side of your hip, right where that big bone is, to the side of your knee. Going all the way up and down. You can start off just by doing the top a little bit, and then the bottom. Going along your IT band, both sides again, 2 minutes each. From the IT band, going into your glutes, the piriformis muscle, small little muscle that is in your glute, runs right over top of some nerves. A lot of times that's when people have that tight muscle, it's your piriformis that sends those signals down your leg that feel like they're very painful. Feels like nerve pain going down your leg. That's from your piriformis being a little too tight. So in order to massage your piriformis, if you're going onto the left glute, you're going to cross left over right, lean onto the left glute, and really just roll right over top of the glute muscle, back and forth. And I don't know if I would do this one for 2 minutes, maybe 2 minutes for both sides, rolling back and forth. If it's a little too much, You can do both at the same time to take some of your weight off the glute. And then just going over to the right one, switching legs. And then from here, going into hamstrings, walking back onto your hands and going right from the bottom of your glute to the top of your knee. Back and forth. And if it's not enough pressure, take one leg over the other and do one hamstring at a time. And again, 2 minutes on each of those. And then coming into the calves, which are usually very, very sensitive. So I usually start off doing both of mine at the same time, kind of priming them, getting them used to the pressure. And then I'll cross one over and just do one back and forth. And you'll notice usually when you get to the top of the back of your calf, where the gastroc muscle is where it's really, really tight, especially in runners, and almost up right behind the knee. Just very gentle, going back and forth up the whole muscle. Take your time with foam rolling. You can never do too much foam rolling. You won't hurt yourself. It's not like static stretching where you're going to decrease the force output. I know there's controversy about doing static stretching prior to doing your run because you won't be able to put out as much force. Foam rolling does not hurt that at all. It actually brings blood flow to the muscle so that your muscles are warmed up for your workout. So if you can get 10 minutes in of foam rolling prior to running or working out, would be beautiful. The other little gadgets that I have that are very helpful, a tiger tail. This, $20 at Target. You can probably get it on Amazon. I like to use these for the muscle that is right on the front here called your anterior tib. This is where you get shin splints. When you start to get those little achy pains in the front of your shin, it's really hard to foam roll because it's a lot of pressure on your shin bone. So if you take the tiger tail and you roll it, just like you would with a rolling pin, all along the side, even getting the peroneal muscles that come from here down and under the foot, go all along the side of your calf. And if you can have someone else do this for you, doing this on your calves is also a beautiful thing. Just be gentle because it can hurt. So make sure that you trust the person who is using the tiger tail on you. And that can work on any muscle. You can do it on your quads. You can use this back on your hamstrings if you have a friend that can help you out with that too. Moving on to the bottoms of the feet. I have a tennis ball and a lacrosse ball. Tennis ball is a little bit softer. Lacrosse ball is a little bit harder. Start with the tennis ball. When you are doing this, you have your shoe off. Doesn't matter if sock is on or off. This is going to massage the fascia in the bottom of your foot. I know everyone's heard of plantar fasciitis. So this is just rolling on the bottom of the foot. You can also put the tennis ball in the freezer to help give yourself a little ice massage while it's down there. You can also use a golf ball. That would be if you have a lot of tolerance to pain and it's really, really tight, you can definitely use a golf ball. You can buy the little rollers that are at the running stores. They're great. You can put them in the freezer, roll your feet on them. The big thing with plantar fasciitis is remembering that it starts up in your calf. So if you are experiencing plantar fasciitis pain, it is really good to roll the bottom of it, but you also want to make sure that you're stretching your calf and foam rolling your calf because that's where the tightness starts and then pulls onto the fascia.